Hello, everybody, and welcome to this little mini edition of Forever Wild. We are on this week's 2021 Earth Day week. That will be on this week. It is a beautiful week this week in April. I just wanted to get in touch with everybody and let everybody know we're doing well at Play Card. We're still doing our virtual free field trips for the year. We've had a good year so far. I want to introduce a couple of concepts for Earth Day this week, and let's go through a couple of neat things here. So one of the things I want to show you is Google Earth Timelapse. Google Earth Timelapse is a way you can actually see how Earth has changed since the mid 80s till about right now. So what we're going to do is it's going to start in about 1984, and it's going to zoom you in here. It's going to show you a glacier here. This is going to be kind of neat. It's going to show how far back it's gone during that time period. So what you see here is a glacier that starts right here, and it starts to move backward very rapidly from 1984 to 2020. Quite a bit of erosion here. It just kind of all of a sudden disappears. Well, this kind of deglaciation is happening around the world, and you can actually see it in different parts of the world. If you'll kind of zoom out here, I want to slow down the screen here to about 0.25 times. And a lot of people are having a little controversy whether or not they believe climate change is happening or not. There's a lot of data to indicate that it is happening and that it is accelerating. So with this Earth Day, they're trying to do a lot with helping different technologies out there transitioning from fossil fuels over to clean burning fuels or clean tech. They call it electrical cars. There's a lot of ways we're adapting using solar power and using different types of technologies out there to adapt to this situation. So what we're seeing is in 1984, if I was to kind of stop this a second here, I'm going to kind of go back to 84 here. Okay, and what we'll see here is a pretty large section of glacier here. And if you go to 2020, you'll see that it's a little smaller there. So what you got is pretty good size, a little smaller. So what you're going to see is you're going to see kind of that happening all over the Alaskan. See there? It's the Bay of Alaska. You can kind of see that thing there. And it's very interesting. So this is not only a phenomenon that's happening in Alaska, it's happening worldwide. So if you look at the Arctic, you kind of look at Greenland here, you can kind of see it shrinking in size. There's 2020, there's 84, there's 2020. So you can actually see the concept here if you'll play it. So you can actually see it starting to, the glacier start to decrease there. So as this continent, which is Greenland, starts to melt and go into the ocean, we're going to see accelerated sea level rise. Okay, so throughout the world, you're seeing accelerated sea level rise. We're also starting to see sea level rise from parts of Antarctica. Some of these sheets here, these ice shelves, are holding back some water that is behind this and actually causing a little bit of accelerated sea level change too. So that's one thing that's happening with climate change. Coral reefs are in decline right now. They are very threatened, and reefs around the world are in decline. And deserts are actually starting to widen out from the equator a lot. They're actually moving southward. So you can actually see these things kind of move too. And the Amazon basin has actually been affected. So if you kind of zoom in here, you can start back in 1985, and you can see this is the Amazon rainforest hill here, and most of it is in Brazil. You can see it starting, people to come in here and start to put in, agricultural use of these lands right here. So you have a lot of what basically is turning into ranch land and savanna now that used to be rainforest. And this is what we call the lungs of the planet. So there's a lot of conservation movements down there trying to slow the spread of this deforestation going on worldwide, especially here in the Amazon rainforest. Now, there are a couple of neat success stories that we have out here. One of them is in the southeastern United States. There's some interesting things going on. We're using conservation here in the southeastern United States to actually protect wood products out there. But there is also a lot of land use happening there. So if you kind of zoom in different parts of South Carolina, for example, here's South Carolina. You can start back in 1984, and then you can go up to 2020, and you'll see a lot of development encroaching on wetlands and other things too. So we've got a lot of things going on worldwide with climate change and with land use that we're trying to work with as ecologists, environmentalists, and we're trying to keep that balance. So for this Earth Day, everybody think about those critical habitats. Think about climate change as a way you can reduce, reuse, recycle, reduce your carbon footprint, and just be good to the earth. Save energy, save water, stay forever wild.